Something's really caught my eye lately. It's this almost quiet way people seem to be building real wealth, not the usual flashy stuff.
Right. It's happening kind of under the radar, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
right in our email inboxes.
Exactly, email newsletters. Seems almost old school.
But it's proving incredibly powerful,
Mm.
especially now in 2025. We're seeing some of these newsletter businesses get sold for serious money,
Serious money, how?
like 6 figures, sometimes even 7 figures. It really shows the power of that, direct connection with an audience.
Wow. Okay. And the cool thing, I think, is that this isn't some like exclusive club, right? It feels like something our listeners could actually explore.
Absolutely. That's the idea.
So, for this deep dive, let's really unpack this. How does this newsletter business model actually work, and what's the real opportunity here?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Step one is really crucial. Picking your niche.
Niche.
And it's not just about what's trendy. It needs to be something people genuinely actively care about. Our sources mentioned a whole range, like crypto news, sure, but also things like productivity hacks,
Oh, yeah.
or sports betting tips, celebrity gossip, even just solid tips on making more money.
So it's less about being a traditional journalist breaking news.
Exactly. It's more about being a filter, a curator. You're saving people time by finding the good stuff for them. Like you said before we started, kind of like a personal DJ for information.
Yeah, I like that analogy. A personal DJ. Okay, so you find your niche. Then what? You need millions of subscribers, right?
Well, that's a common myth, actually. You don't need a massive list starting out.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the material we looked at clearly shows profitable newsletters running with, believe it or not, fewer than 10,000 subscribers.
Under 10,000. Really?
It's much more about the engagement and the connection you build with those readers, not just the raw number.
Okay, that makes it feel more achievable. What about the tools? Like, what platforms do people use to actually build and send these?
There are some great user-friendly options out there. Platforms like Beehive, Substack, ConvertKit are really popular. They make the tech side pretty easy.
Right. And how do you get people on the list?
A key strategy is offering something valuable up front. A freebie, sometimes called a lead magnet.
Like a little taste.
Exactly. It could be a cheat sheet, maybe a mini course, or like a list of insider tips related to your niche, something that makes people say, yeah, I want that.
And where do you promote this freebie to get those first signups?
Use the channels people are already on, Instagram, Twitter, short videos on YouTube Shorts are working well now, even specific communities on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
If your lead magnet is genuinely useful, you can actually see growth surprisingly quickly.
Okay, niche found, audience growing. Let's talk money. How do these things actually, generate revenue?
There are a few main paths. Sponsorships are a big one.
Like ads.
Sort of, yeah. Once you have an engaged audience, even just a few thousand, brands that align with your niche will pay to be featured in your newsletter.
How much are we talking?
Well, the sources suggest it could be anywhere from, say, $500 up to maybe $2,000 per mention, sometimes more, depending on the list size and engagement.
Significant.
It really is. And part of why this works so well now is because, organic reach on social media is, well, it's tough. Email gives you direct access. You own that audience connection.
Owning the audience, that's a powerful idea. What else besides sponsorships?
Affiliate links are another common one. You recommend products or services relevant to your readers, use a special link, and you get a commission if they buy. Pretty standard stuff, but effective.
Makes sense.
And then, of course, there's selling your own stuff. The newsletter is a perfect funnel for your own courses, digital products, coaching, whatever you offer.
Okay, so multiple streams potentially. Now, something else in the sources really jumped out at me, this idea of buying and selling newsletters. Like the whole business.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It's becoming a real thing in 2025. There are actual marketplaces now where people list their newsletters for sale. They're being treated like digital real estate.
Digital real estate. So why would someone buy one instead of just starting their own? Seems like more work.
It's a shortcut, basically.
Yeah.
You're buying the pre-built audience, the established trust, and often the existing revenue streams.
Ah, okay. Instant cash flow, potentially.
Exactly. Investors are getting interested, too, because it's often got good cash flow, pretty low overhead compared to other businesses, and it's scalable. It taps into this idea of attention as an asset.
Attention as an asset. I like that. And this isn't just theory, right? There was that example.
Oh, yeah, the Productivity Tips newsletter.
Yeah.
That one sold for, what was it, over $400,000?
400 grand for a newsletter.
Right. And the key takeaway there was the buyer wasn't necessarily buying the founder's personal fame. They were buying the audience's attention. that direct line.
So you can build something really valuable without needing to be like a huge personality yourself.
Precisely. It's about consistently delivering value to a focused group.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, the big picture seems to be starting a newsletter now is far from outdated. It's actually a pretty smart, low-cost way to build a potentially valuable asset.
And one that isn't totally at the mercy of some algorithm change on social media, which is a huge plus. Email conversion rates are often way higher, too.
You're in control.
Much more control. Yeah. It really boils down to finding that thing you know about, putting in the consistent work, just writing and curating and understanding the potential sitting right there in people's inboxes.
This has been really insightful. Makes you think, doesn't it? So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, what's a topic you know enough about, maybe even are passionate about, that others would actually pay or at least trade their email for to have curated for them regularly?
That could be the start of something interesting.